Tonight on 60 Minutes, we'll be interviewing George Patton, who was a famous World War II general, and we'll also interview Ulysses S. Grant, notorious for being president. And also, your brain is being hacked, and here's how to stop it. So how do you feel about being inducted into the Hall of Shame?
Well, I guess it's understandable. I came into office with very little political experience. I wasn't planning on running for president until I was selected by the Republican Party as their candidate. So I guess there's I can't really take much blame for it. But you know who you can blame? The Jews. While he was general in the Civil War, Ulysses S. Grant issued General Order Number 11, which banned all Jews from being in his unit. Grant also admitted to his election as president being a mistake, saying, "It was my fortune or misfortune to be called to the office of chief executive without any previous political training. Under such circumstances, it is but reasonable to suppose that errors of judgment must have occurred."
And this inexperience is probably what led to the overbuilding of railroads, docks, factories, and ancillary facilities. When these investments failed, there was a panic and an ensuing depression. More specifically, the Panic of 1873, which was a 6-year depression that lasted far after Grant's presidency. His presidency was also riddled with scandals, including what was called the Whiskey Ring. So, could you provide our viewers with any insight onto what exactly the Whiskey Ring was?
Well, basically because after the war, there were high taxes on liquor. Many people tried to bribe the treasury in order to get stamps at a lower price than usual.
And so when the scandal arose and more than 100 people in your administration were convicted, you still shielded your private secretary, Orville E. Babcock.
Well, me and Orville were bros, so there's no way he would do anything that he allegedly did because that would affect my legacy, and he knows that was very important to me.
Grant also had a taste for strong drink, which first became problematic in the early 1850s, when he was reportedly forced to resign from the army for being caught drunk on duty. He swore off alcohol for most of the
next
decade, only to fall off the wagon during the Civil War. Grant's penchant for binge drinking was usually kept in check by Colonel John Rawlins, but rumors that he was intoxicated during battle swirled around him for most of the war. So, your reputation for alcoholism has caused many to question your character. What do you have to say about that?
Well, since I'm drinking all the time, I'm never really that out of character while I'm drinking, so the way I see it is, if you're drunk all the time, you're really never drunk.
Are you drunk right now?
Are you drunk right now?
Also, late in life, seeking relief from the pain of cancer, he turned to cocaine, which is never, ever cool.
So describe your experience at the 1912 Stockholm Olympics.
Well, I represented the United States in the modern pentathlon, which consisted of 5 events, and that is swimming, diving, running, fencing, and shooting. I did very well in the first 4, but unfortunately, I did very poorly in the pistol shooting portion. That significantly deducted the amount of points I had and meant that I only placed 5th overall.
Is it true you were one of the first Americans to drive a tank and one of the first Americans to command a tank unit?
Yes, I commanded the first combat use of tanks during World War I, and I also directed the American Tank Center at Langres and earned a Distinguished Service Medal for my work there.
Describe your victory at the Battle of El Gater.
Well, that was a battle that put the U.S. back on the offensive against the Nazis. During that battle, I overtook Sicily in under 38 days and out-blitzed the Blitzkrieg.
Describe your victories in Germany.
On the Eastern Front in Europe, I liberated France, Belgium, Germany, Austria, Luxembourg, and Czechoslovakia from German rule, and I captured over 750,000 Nazis and killed or disabled 500,000 others.
What are your thoughts on the 761st Battalion, otherwise known as the Black Panthers?
Who?
On November 8th, 1944, the Black Panthers became the first African-American armored unit to enter combat, smashing into the towns of Moyenvik and Vic-sur-Seille. General Patton was quoted saying, "I don't care what color you are, as long as you go up there and kill those Kraut sons of women."
What up? If you like that video, subscribe and smash that like button.